Hi, Andy Harding from Cycle Strength here with you again. Today, a bit of a change of pace. I'm going to take you through some really simple flexibility and mobility movements, and it's kind of a test really to see how your flexibility is coming along. Quite often cyclists suffer badly with flexibility issues because there's one plane of movement. Your knees are coming up and down, you're on the bars, your shoulders are pretty much in the same position. Yes, the bike moves around, you have to move with the bike, but it's the knees coming up and down. What that causes over time is for your hip flexors to shorten, for your glutes and your hamstrings to shorten, and you end up basically being a bit inflexible. So we're going to take you through a few tests. The first one is the squat test. How far can you squat down? Sounds really simple. Now, a squat, as you know, feet planted on the floor, you want your knees to track perfectly over your toes. So if you naturally have your feet turning out, your knees are going to go out with your toes. If you naturally have your feet turning in, your knees are going to stay over your toes the whole time. We don't want any knees coming in like that, okay? So try this. My feet are just slightly point outwards. So, just squat slowly down, keeping your hands in front of you, keep your back nice and straight. Come all the way down, keeping your chin up, looking forwards. How low to the ground can you get your bum? Heels on the ground, no rocking forwards onto your toes. How low can you go? Now, that's as far down as I can get. And I can rest there. It's not uncomfortable. My hips are okay. I can move about a bit. I can twist. I can move my hips, my knees. I can rock onto my toes. I can rock back a little bit onto my heels even more. It's fine. Okay? Let's see it from the side. How low can you go? Back nice and straight, chin up, looking forwards. All the way down, weight through my heels. As you can see, my head is over my feet. Okay? Now, a lot of people, when you get tight in the hips, tight in the hamstrings, you get to about here and you start to lean forwards, you go up onto your toes a bit, and over time, what we want to do is work on that flexibility, doing the stretches that I've shown you in previous videos, and working on your mobility by doing other exercises other than cycling. Believe it or not, there's plenty of other exercises we can do that will help open up the hips, open up the flexibility around this area in your knees. It could be that your knees just simply won't bend that far. Well, they need to be pushed gently over time. It'll take a while. If you keep working on your flexibility, you'll find that you can comfortably get down into that seated position. Okay. The other one, another one I wanted to try with you, is the elbow to floor test. So we're going to be in a press up position. So get your core nice and strong, hips straight, tighten the glutes up, nice and stable. Hands just wider, just under your shoulder, really, just a tiny bit wider if you like. Bring one foot up to the outside of the opposite hand, of the same hand, like that. And then lift that hand up, point your elbow, touch your elbow to the ground. I'll show you that on the other side. In fact, I'll show you that from the front. Might be easier to see. So the foot comes up to the outside of the hand. That's the first test. Make sure you can do that. A lot of people, their foot will come to there. Well, that's your flexibility. You need to keep working on that so it comes up to the outside of the hand. Point your elbow, and then just touch your elbow on the ground. Yeah? Now the pull, the stretch, is all down the back of the leg there, and it front of that leg. So where you'll feel it, the knee that's bent, you'll feel it in the back of that leg. The leg that's straight, you'll feel it in the front, the hip flexor there. The idea is to be able to get your elbow from there down to there and back up comfortably. If you can't do that, it's a simple matter of working on your flexibility. The next one we're going to do is the Cobra on the floor. I'll show you it first. This is all for the flexibility in your back. You're going to lie down, face down, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows nice and close to your body. Try and get your feet as close together as is comfortable. Legs straight, head down, and push up. And you're going to bend your back. Keep your pelvis on the floor. You want your pelvis to stay on the floor. So all the bend comes through your spine. And then when you get to the top, just push your shoulder blades down your back. Push your shoulder blades right down into the back of your belt line. And then straighten the arms. Now that's pretty much full stretch. That's as much as I can manage. Now a lot of people, they get to there, and that's as far as they can go. Or their hands come out forwards like that. Or their pelvis comes off the ground. All of that is hinting at being tight in the abs and an inflexible back. Inflexibility in the spine over time, you may find, starts to cause injuries or make injuries feel worse than they need to be. Building up the flexibility in these areas is going to should really make you completely pain-free. All that cycling that you're doing is one plane of movement, leaning over the bars, your back keeping nice and tight. You have to undo all of the pressure that you're putting on there by leaning back, doing that Cobra stretch. Stretch out the abs, lengthen the body, and stretch the spine back. It's one of those things, you just do it for 30 seconds after every ride, after every workout, and over time you'll gradually get more and more flexibility. Flexibility in the spine is what we want. That's very important for just everyday mobility and keeping you pain-free. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is the trunk rotation. So, with you lying on your back, you want one knee bent, keep your hands on the ground, you can put them out to the side if you want, and this bent leg is going to come all the way across, and you're going to try and get your knee to the ground while keeping the opposite shoulder, the shoulder on the opposite side, on the ground also. That is as far as I can go. I can't get my knee all the way down to the ground with my shoulder still on the floor. I could do, but the shoulder comes up. We want the shoulders on the ground. And then you can gently roll out of that and go the other side. So knee up, bring it down. You might get some clicks, some crunches coming from the spine. If you're really stretching, I sometimes give it a little push with the hand. As long as your shoulder stays on the mat, on the ground, it's fine. It's a really lovely stretch. You feel it all down your side and in the glute there. Now, if you're struggling to get the knee down, maybe it'll only go that far, your shoulder will start to lift up. You just need to keep working on it. You just need to keep working on that flexibility and that rotation of the spine and the hips. It will, in the long run, make you a happier, more flexible, and stronger cyclist. A few things to work on there. Give it a go yourself, test yourself, keep going back to it. If you can't do them, don't worry, you just need to work on it a little bit. Work on that flexibility, work on the hips, the glutes, the lower back, the hamstrings, all of that. Lots and lots of stretching to elongate the muscles and get all the balance of the joints back into equilibrium where they should be. Okay, I hope you've benefited from this video. Check out the other YouTube videos I've got warm-ups, I've got some workouts in there. Join me on Facebook, Instagram, check out the website cyclestrengthpt.com. I'm Andy Harding from Cycle Strength. Thank you very much.